Hey, it's Central Valley Real Estate and Home Improvement. I'm your host, Steve Walling. My guest for this segment is Theodora Tuly. Did I get that right?
Tuly, yes.
Michailides?
Correct.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
I'm hitting on all cylinders.
You got it, go.
Well, thanks for being here, Tuly.
My pleasure.
And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart, because we're going to talk about Hinds Hospice. And, it's one of those things that is a gift to the world, and today, wasn't always there. Serves an extremely important purpose in people's lives.
Yeah.
So, how is it that you got connected with Hinds?
Involved?
Yeah.
Well, I've been fortunate enough and unfortunate enough to have been blessed by their services in the past, and been going to different fundraisers over the year. And now with my business, I actually do event planning. Mm-hmm. And so they have one of their events that they call the Hinds Hospice Noon Tea. Okay. Which is a lot of fun, but because of the quantity of events that they are producing now to raise funds, they actually formed a guild, a ladies' guild, who took on managing. Yeah, I know, it sounds dangerous.
It sounds serious, yeah, you bet.
They formed a ladies' guild to take on that particular event, and with that, thought that they needed some help with the administrative and marketing side. And so I'm fortunate that I get to help with that.
And somehow your name came up in the conversation,
Somehow, yeah.
Okay. Before we move forward, Tuly, I want to share with our audience about Hinds Hospice, what they do. Most people have kind of a vague idea,
right?
But let's fill in the blanks.
Right. Well, the type of programs that they have is pretty wide. This particular event is benefiting, all the funds are going to be benefiting the pediatric programs, but Hinds Hospice don't just do like palliative care for family members that are passing on. They also do a lot of restorative and long-term care for young people, middle-aged people. So sometimes people think, ooh, hospice, they're dying. Well, it's not always the case. They have some great stories where through the assistance of the nurses and so forth in the program and the therapy, they have lots of support groups.
And, surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, sometimes in some cases where people thought it was going to be end of life, ended up being extending of life,
right,
because the care was made available to people that weren't aware that that type of care was available to them, and that, there's things that can happen in a positive way.
Right. Oh, for sure.
Which is really great. Most people, you're right, they think hospice, well, that's it. We're going to do business for a couple weeks and we're done in that. But not so.
No.
And Hinds Hospice, I know, has been around for a while. They've got a really good name. They provide, like you say, multiple services.
Yeah.
But the service that you're talking about that we're having the fundraiser for, that's got to be a real tough one, dealing with with kids.
Well, the loss of, their funds go to things like the Angel Baby program, and then suicide, and, the loss of children. And I don't think there's anything worse than losing somebody that you brought into the world, So I have several friends that have gone through their grief support program, and they just rave about it, that they couldn't have done it without that support system. So that's wonderful. I mean, I never took advantage. I'm kind of one of those people that think I can do everything on my own. But knowing it was there was a blessing. If I had wanted to plug into the group therapy or whatever, I could have.
And oftentimes, people, those that are left behind, have no idea what grief therapy is, or the process for an individual going through it, and how constructive it can help, instead of being all alone in your grief. You have people of like mind that have shared experience, but you also have people that can teach you tools that you can put into practice.
Right.
That's so important.
Right. Positive tools that allow you to be able to deal with the grief in a constructive way. I think that speaks volumes for sure. Yeah.
It does. And so we're looking to support the pediatric, and when is this?
So it's going to be February 22nd, which is a huge change in the date, and so that's one of the reasons why I'm here, because usually they have that in the spring, but it'll be February 22nd. It'll still be at Pardini's, which is where they've been having it the last couple of years.
Yeah, is there food any good there?
You know what? I like Pardini's, and they have good service. And obviously, you pay for what you get. But with us, they've been very generous with giving us extremely good prices to be able to make some money with the fundraiser.
That's good.
And the facility is big enough to accommodate. We generally have about 250, 300 women there. Men are welcome, of course. We have all ages.
Pardini's been a very good member of our society,
of our community. Yes, for sure. I have to agree with that.
And they've given back a lot.
Yeah.
And, I'm glad to hear that they're involved. And their food really is good.
Yeah.
And I know something about good food.
Yeah, I like
We're not going to go there, but anyway. Well, that's okay. So February 22nd.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
So there'll be champagne flowing,
cool.
which a lot of people like that. We've got a hat competition, thus the hat here. And high tea, they have some amazing raffle items that get sold, but also they have, each table is set differently by some creative women in the community who donate the table items and their time to do that. So on the screen, we have some examples of last year's tables, which were pretty fantastic.
That's awesome.
They're all different, so you get to bid on those, and then be able to have a ready to go table to set for if you want to have your own dinner party at home.
Cool. That's really neat.
Yeah, it's fun.
I like that.
Yeah, it's
I like everything about it.
Thank you.
But I got a problem.
What's the problem?
How do I sign up? How do I become involved?
Exactly.
Where do I get the information I need so that I can go or be a part of?
Yeah. Well, we do have on Hinds Hospice, there is a website link, event page, but also I think, I can't see the screen, there's a link on the screen that will allow you to buy tickets. If you are computer savvy or internet savvy, you can go to Eventbrite and go to February 22nd, and the Hinds tea, noon tea will come up, and you can purchase your tickets there.
Cool. Is there like a Facebook page or any of that other social?
For Hinds Hospice, not for the tea itself. We haven't created one, but that's a good idea. I'm going to have to get on that.
Listen, we got millennials out there, and they don't speak my speak. We need social media
Well,
speak.
there are not too many of them on Facebook now either.
No,
but they're on Instagram and Snapchat and
I just, I'm a little behind the time, but if I say Facebook, you understand.
Social media.
Social media, yeah. So get some stuff out there. We'll talk about it.
Okay, thank you for having me.
And I'll tell you what, Tuly, come back beforehand. We'll promote this again.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We hope to see you there.
All right. It's a good cause.
Okay.
You take care. I'll see you when we come back.